What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a new YouTube video. And it has been exactly 2 weeks, I believe, since I last recorded a YouTube video, meaning today we have another day of heavy pause squats. Matter of fact, we have the last day of the block. The goal for this session was to break my PR of 215 kgs from the last block for the top set. To ensure that, I even put on the smallest size sleeves I usually only use in comp, my M-sized SPDs. I guess it definitely helped because they moved so much easier than both my previous squat sessions this block. As you can see, I went for 220 kg, so 4 reps. The stability within my core was really on point too today. I felt rigid during every second of my squats. The first few literally flew up, and there was no difference to my last warm-ups. Even the last one, which moved a little bit slower, felt ridiculously safe, which makes this really a great spot to be in for the upcoming weeks of prep for the next contest. I believe there are 16 weeks left until the next competition, so I'm very hyped to see where I can take my squat. I'm aiming for a 290 kg squat, and in my backoffs I kept them very light as I usually do, about 10 to 12% lighter than my top set. In this case it was 195 kg, and I really fell in love with keeping my backoffs nice and light to practice the movement and accumulate the necessary volume for my squats, but not to go overboard and push them too hard. This not only taxed my body but also my mind heavily in the past. Also, a big factor is obviously my knees. As an ex-football player with 2 effed up knees, it is really important to manage the loads in a clever way so that my right knee especially does not get too annoyed and swells up or hurts too much. On board press, I also managed to hit a big PR today. The warm-ups on bench already felt very safe, but just to be even more sure, I hit a warm-up within 5 kgs away from today's top sets, just to feel out how the 150 moved and just to get an indication of how easy or how hard they would move. I was joking the other day actually with a friend that my bench progress at the moment is seeming too fast almost, but this 4x6 with 155 moved extremely well today. I had no difficulties whatsoever keeping my arched upper back in place, and also my leg drive was really good. The only thing I really noticed was at the lower back, above my left hip joint, some very tight muscles, probably from all the sitting I had to endure during the slightly longer work week this week. But other than that, no complaints whatsoever, and it showed on the bench. As you can see, this is my first set now, and they absolutely flew up, and this is definitely a huge new PR. Well, let's get to the last heavy compound movement on this day, the snatch grip RDLs. While my girlfriend walked by fooling around during my setup for snatch grips, I was trying to get my lats engaged. Basically, during the setup, I'm trying to bend the bar into 2, rotating my shoulders out and pulling them back with my lats. The second focus is definitely the lower back. Due to my rather long torso, I often struggle to keep it tight. and straight during the bottom part of the motion. Disclaimer, you will not automatically hurt your back when you round it. Some lifters might even benefit from a round deadlift. That being said, in the lockout of the deadlift, for the lift to count, you must get into a straight position with hips and back aligned. This means everything that is round in the beginning or during the lift has to be straightened out in the end. In my case, it's my kryptonite. In the past, where I was able to get the bar off the floor, but couldn't lock it out. So these kinds of deadlift really helped me improve my position and tightness over the past few months. Now I have an uncut but sped up version of my reps. I believe I had one full working set of 12 reps and then 5 myo sets where I tried hitting 5 reps each. The basic concept of my reps is one set of 10 to 12 or 15 reps where you do not have much left in the tank with very short rest times after. Constantly keeping you in a fatigued state and very close to failure. The 10 to 15 seconds mainly are enough to get your cardiovascular system to recover and catch your breath, but you're not gonna fully recover your muscles. It really is forcing you to squeeze and fight for every rep after that one initial set, and instead of then doing 6 sets of biceps in total, I am doing 1 plus the last few reps, so to say, of every set I would get. Once I cannot hit 3 or 4 reps anymore, I then stop because my arms are usually dying at that point, and this one set, so to speak, has been the only specific biceps work I have been doing for close to a year now, and I cannot complain about muscle growth nor strength, so very happy with that, and it minimizes the time I have to spend during my training sessions on a muscle such as the biceps, which will not really affect my squat or deadlift heavily and only minimally affects the bench press. After that, we had reverse cable flies. I currently have rear delt exercises 2 times a week in my plan, and I'm pretty sure that there is a massive correlation between my rear delt work and my healthy shoulder and back bench. It really helps throughout benching to keep the arch high and to retract the shoulder blades. And I also noticed that my shoulder joint in total is way more stable, meaning in the past I had feeling that my shoulder would bounce around in the socket, ready to pop off, or being very unstable while I would do dips or dumbbell presses, for example. This is not the case anymore, and I'm very happy about that. And last but not least, we had weighted V-ups. I already mentioned in some of my previous videos that I like to have at least one core exercise at the end of each day. Even though I hate to do them, a stiff core will help throughout all lifts, but especially during squat and deadlift to keep the core tight and stable. Definitely a huge contributing factor to the increased strength in all compound exercises. And that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching. I wish you all the love, all the power. Have a good one.